All right, what is up, guys? It has been a minute since I have talked about any new Zoids products coming up. So, for those of you who are newer to the channel, I used to do a show that was like a market watch that talked about upcoming Zoids products, new release model kits, and reissues of model kits, and kind of looked at the secondary market and prices for older Zoids in the collector scene on sites like eBay and Yahoo Auctions Japan and stuff like that. And I kind of got away from that as it just wasn't content I was able to keep producing while I had other things on my plate. And then kind of focus moved a little bit away from the Zoids channel as I sort of was running out of room in my collection and couldn't constantly be buying new kits. And my HMM backlog was pretty daunting for a while. But regardless, um, I wanted to talk about some of the new kits that have been recently announced for the 40th anniversary. So, some of these kits have been out for a little while. Some of them were announced several months ago. Some of them were announced more than a year ago. It's going to be a mix of a lot because I haven't made a video like this in a while. So, this video is going to be talking about basically any new Zoid that I haven't already talked about in another video since the 40th anniversary. So, the first thing we have here is these Zoids brand crossovers, and there are several of these, and they're taking the Zoids Wild motorized and wind up models and doing redecos of those for crossovers with other brands. So there's the Spider-Man one here, as you can see, that reuses the Spider Zoid, whose name escapes me, from Zoids Wild. This is actually a pretty cool kit, and I would recommend this if you are a Spider-Man fan. But most of these I don't particularly care for because I already have the Zoids Wild kits, and there was two different runs. There was the English and the Japanese ones, the Hasbro and the Takara Tomy ones. So I'm not really in a hurry to get more copies of any of these molds, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think the one that I want the most is the Shadow Wolf, whatever it's called, the Hunter Wolf. Yeah, the Hunter Wolf Patlabor crossover. That thing is really, really cool. But the Spider-Man one here is also really cool because, and there's another one right here, as you can see, where oh, I guess you can't see it. My screen, my camera's blocking it. But yeah, there's another one right here. So this is a cool crossover because if those of you who know that the original Zoids UK comics were published by Marvel UK in a Spider-Man serial. So this actually does kind of tie over. Now, Zoids and Spider-Man didn't appear together on screen or on page in the comics, but they were released in part of the same comic print run, which is pretty cool. So this is like the first and only time we've had really a callback to that. And then the one that I really, really love here is the Fist of the North Star crossover here with Rao. And I just think that is super, super cool because I want to say it is not only the 40th anniversary of Zoids, but also a Fist of the North Star, as you can see down here. So that's actually extremely cool. I would love this just for the. I mean, this is a sweet deco of the Wild Liger, and it would be cool to have the little Rao acrylic stand. But like, I already have three different iterations of the Wild Liger, or yeah, I have three different Wild Ligers if you include the HMM, and then the same bones of the Wild Liger are used for the Beast Liger and the Rising Liger. So probably will not end up owning this guy, but he is extremely cool, and I love Fist of the North Star, so I think that's an extremely cool reference that they've done there. Other than that, we have a new HMM that has been. This thing is available right now. It's finally out. So we have the HMM Guyzak, and this is pretty cool. The Guyzak is a pretty underrated Zoid, honestly, and it's actually a really excellent choice in my opinion for an HMM. It looks like it has a lot of really cool details and a lot of really cool play features. It's got like where is that? In one of these shots, it had like these weird missiles. Yeah, it's got like weird like missile things coming up on the back there. But again, I like when the HMMs do these older, more primitive animal Zoids that can be interpreted as these sort of utilitarian, mass-produced grunt military vehicles, as opposed to these, one-of-a-kind Gundam-esque, super powerful, ultra robot, just destroying things like all the Liger Zero variants. So, pretty affordable, this guy. So I actually would definitely recommend picking up the HMM Guyzak. Not a great color scheme, but it is. I think it is the canon color scheme. The only thing I would have liked to see is maybe like an off white, or maybe like a Xenobus red would be cool for this guy. But other than that, this is technically the canon color scheme, and it's like a desert camo, I guess. But that's the only new HMM, but there are several reissues, including a reissue Markings Plus version of the D Bison, which I will be ordering as soon as I'm done with this video, because I decided out of hell with it. I really do want the HMM D Bison. I don't have one, and I am a big fan of the D Bison, and I missed out on it the last time this was available, so I am pretty happy to be able to go back and get this. So we need to talk about the Zoids 40th anniversary product line. So this is a brand new product line for the 40th anniversary, and these are all of the AZ Zoids. Now there are other websites you can get these on, so not all of these are available on AmiAmi anymore. Several of these are sold out, as would be expected, because some of them came out early last year or summer last year. So these are completely reimagined, redesigned, built from the ground up, motorized Zoids model kits for the 40th anniversary. So these are going to be more similar to the Masterpiece Zoids than anything else that's on the market in terms of what the build style is going to be like. So it's going to be a slightly more complex build than the classic version, the classic motorized versions, where it's all new parts, it's all new details, it's completely original, completely new iteration of the character. It will not have the build complexity of the HMMs, but they are motorized, and this kind of gives you an idea. Like that's the Zoid complete with the motor inside and everything, and this is all the little armor bits. So it looked like they are going to be a pretty fun build. You can kind of see the light from the inside of the core in there for the motor. This, of course, is the Shield Liger, and all of these do come with a stand like so, which I think is awesome, because that was something that was happening with the motorized kits towards the end of their time span, like in the late Fusors, early Genesis era. The motorized kits did come with stands, so I think it's super cool that they have brought that feature back. And these also they have the copyright license to use the anime characters, which the Kotobukiya HMM line currently does not have, which is why we're only getting like generic reissues of the Zoids instead of any characters based off the anime. So we have the AZ, and AZ, I believe, it literally just means anniversary Zoid. So we have the AZ Shield Liger. We have the Saber Tiger, which I think looks just absolute chef's kiss, perfect. Like some of these molded in details are just incredible to me. This is a just awesome reimagining of this design. I think this is just kick ass. The Blade Liger, my personal favorite. I have a normal amount of Blade Ligers, as you well know, and while I would like this one, they also did it in red. They also did the Leon Blade Liger, and this one I actually have seen in person. It was quite expensive, but one of my local hobby stores, card game shops, was getting some imported model kits, as they usually do. And they've had this twice, and I missed out on it both times because it was too expensive. It was about $150, but when you consider the yen to dollar translation here is about 70, plus shipping, plus a little bit of retail markup to make a profit on it, 150 is probably about what is it's like a little bit overpriced, but not by much for what it is. The Liger Zero, which I think it's really, really cool that it has the light up claws. But other than that, I'm not like, crazy about the idea of yet another Liger Zero, especially because we just had the Bandai Liger Zero as well for that crossover. And so it's like, what Liger Zero, and I guess you could say the same thing about the Blade Liger, because there's a million different iterations of the Blade Liger, but it's like, what do you want? Do you want the HMM version, or do you want the anniversary version, or do you want the Bandai version? Like, what do you want? Um, this though, I really do want, because we do not have this, and I actually think we cannot get this um in HMM, and that is the Liger Zero Phoenix. So I want to say, yeah, so you can build the bird, but and this is the full kit that comes with both the Liger Zero and the Phoenix armor. Um, but it doesn't look like you can just buy the armor separately and attach it to the Liger Zero. But again, what they're doing is they're doing an anniversary for every different Zoid era, and so this is your fusers representation for the anniversary line is the Liger Zero Phoenix, and I think that's actually super cool because we haven't had any new iteration of the Liger Zero Phoenix since the original motorized version from the fusers line, and we've been dying for a new version of this for a very, 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 very long time. I would love to get this either in like the blue variant or the white variant. The white variant would be sick. Um, we have the Murasame Liger to keep going down the line, and this is where it gets really confusing because the other Murasame Liger you could buy was the Zoids Aggressive series, which was a different product allocation where they didn't have the license or the rights to a lot of the classic Zoids, but they specifically purchased the manufacturing rights to the Genesis line to do the Zoids Aggressive series. And so you have the ZA Murasame Liger and now the AZ Murasame Liger. So good luck with that. Not confusing in the slightest. This guy looks pretty cool though. Um, and then again, finally, for the first time ever, we have a new Death Soarer. So the again, people have wanted a Kotobukiya HMM Death Soarer. It's never been done as of yet. There's been talks about it, but it would be an incredibly big and complex and expensive kit, and it would be very difficult for it to stand on its own weight under all those joints and everything. But the original 80s mold for the Death Soarer was used for um, the anime era, and we haven't had a new iteration since. So it's basically been the same Death Soarer mold since the 80s, and this is the first time it's ever been redone. And this one actually has the classic colors with the brighter red, as opposed to the darker, more like maroon red that the anime era one had. And this, ironically, this color is actually more accurate to the anime, funny enough. But my friend Brad, who I did a collection video on several years ago, um, he has this. And so I will most likely not be able to get my hands on this. For one, it's a little too expensive for what I'm able to afford right now, and I do not have room for it anywhere in my collection, especially with things like the HMM Iron Kong Yeti in my backlog. But I will be able to do a video on this one day whenever I go and see my friend Brad again and take a look at his collection. So very, very cool. We have a new Death Soarer. New Genosaur, of course, is to go along with the AZ line. This guy looks really, really sick. Again, I love the light up eyes and light up charge particle beam cannon in his mouth. And then they're doing a Mulga, which seems a little bit underwhelming for me to mention after the Genosaur and the Death Soarer. But what's cool about this is I don't have a tab open for it right now, but there is a HMM Mulga that is not a 2-pack that is available for pre-order as well. So let's see if I get lucky here. Okay, no, I was going to say if it got lucky and came up on my recommended at the bottom of the page, but it didn't. The HMM Mulgas, because they're so small, typically come in a 2-pack where you have to get it's like Mulga and Cannery Mulga, and then like Artillery and Carrier Mulga are 2 separate sets, so it's like 2 different sets of 2. They're releasing one that's just the one Mulga with all the customized parts kits like the artillery cannon, so it's the HMM Mulga like option set kit, which I think is really cool. But you can get that, or you can get this one. They're both available simultaneously, and there's actually yet another Mulga available that we're going to talk about soon. So that's it really for the Zoids anniversary line. I think that these are super cool. I at least want to get maybe 1 or 2 just to play around with this line. Of course, I would love the Blade Liger. But hell, I might even get this little Mulga guy. You never know. Um, but there's also another entirely different product line, and again, similar to the anniversary line, it's like a brand new product line we've never had before, and it is completely new iterations of classic Zoids models and characters that we haven't seen a new iteration since like the first couple of HMMs in the late 2000s. And this is the Realize Model series Zoids crossover. So Realize Model is a different brand that makes these articulated robot toy models. And what these appear to be, to me at least, we don't fully know, unless there's been some prototypes that people have been able to get their hands on, is that these are 1/100th scale as opposed to 1/72nd scale, like the motorized and wind up in HMM Zoids, where those all kind of share the same scale. These are a little bit smaller, but they're not quite as small as the Mahler Spirit series we had in the 2010s. But they appear to be slightly buildable, articulated figures. So I think the analog that you're looking for with this is the Revoltech Zoids. And those are all pretty old and they've been out of print for a while. In some places, like really overcharged for them for what they are. Because I have the Blade Liger Mirage as a Revoltech, but I think the Revoltechs are a little bit overrated. Like they have cool articulation, but I just don't like that they don't scale as well with the rest of my collection. But now we have these guys, and again, not nearly as detailed as the HMM. These details are closer to the original, like anime accurate type of details, or the original Takara Tomy kits from the anime and pre-anime era than they are to the HMM. So in certain details, they're a little bit of a step down from the HMMs, but you get a more playable, highly articulated figure, and they're also affordable. These guys are pretty cheap. So the Command Wolf here is, less than $20 if you approximately, when you factor in the conversion rate and everything. And then of course there'll be shipping and everything. So, but the actual retail price for these guys is not that bad. And if you got a collection of just these, if you had a collection of just these kits as a self-contained thing, they would all go pretty well together. They're all, like I said, that 1/100 scale, so they would be kind of a fun little play gimmick right then and there. And I think that's a cool thing they've done is, reimagine these classic Zoids in a new product line. So I might pick up one or two of these. But again, I just don't have a lot of room in my collection for a bunch of these, and they're also not really my preference. Like I like the idea of having like an articulated figure Zoid that's easy to play with, but it does kind of clash a little bit with all the highly detailed model kit ones. But we have the Command Wolf here. We have, of course, a Blade Liger, which I will say is ironically, one of the most anime accurate looking Blade Ligers in terms of proportions. But again, it's like, what do you want? Do you want the HMM Blade Liger? Do you want the Revoltech Blade Liger? Do you want the Hagane Works Blade Liger? Do you want the Anniversary Blade Liger? Do you want this Blade Liger? Like, it's insane. This is really cool, though. So they're doing a Hellcat. And again, we have not had a new iteration of a Hellcat since the original wind-up version. There is no HMM Hellcat, which I really think there needs to be. I think it's a good choice for a kit for an HMM. But I really like the way this guy looks. Again, it's a highly articulated figure, so you get like this really pronounced like elbow bend right here. But look at this head sculpt. This is very, very different from the old wind-up kit, and the way these ears come up, I think that looks really, really good. So I'm actually really looking forward to this kit, especially from the Realize model line, or RMZ, as you can see here. And again, these have the copyright to do the anime characters. So we have the Saber Tiger Shoebolt special, which has a very specific color scheme that is different from the Great Saber, and it has a beam Gatling unit on it. So that's really cool to see. And once again, We have another Molga. We got a little worm. And so this is just really silly to me. You have a new iteration of the HMM Molga, the anniversary Molga, and this realized Molga all for sale at the exact same time. So which one would you go with? I mean, this one does look like it has some cool play features. Like look at it up on the stand like that, and you can kind of see how the wheels move and everything. And it does have like the little pop up gun. I think it has the little pop up gun. Yeah, there it is. The little pop up missiles and everything. Um, yeah, so like I don't know, man. I just think it's cool. Molgas are just little guys. They're just little worms. Um, and then more recently announced was a Genosaur for this line as well. So again, you could go with the anniversary motorized Genosaur, or you could go with this one. It's smaller and is more articulated, but it is um, you don't have that build aspect to it, and you don't have the lights and sounds and all that. So, but the coolest thing about the realized model kit is we have an adaptation of a Zoid that has never gotten a model kit ever, the Trinity Liger. So this is really cool. So they went back to the well and got I guess the exclusive rights to do the Zoids Saga, Zoids Legacy games, and do the Trinity Liger, which, like I said, has never ever had a model kit. It's appeared in the Zoids Versus games, um, but other than that, it's only appeared in video games. It's never appeared in any other form of media, and this does look pretty cool. The back end of it looks a little bit jank, and I know people have made their own homebrew um, modifications, like their own garage kits, essentially, of the Trinity Liger. So collectors have improvised over the years, but this is the first official Trinity Liger to ever be made as a product you could buy, and I think that's really cool. So of all the realized model Zoids, I'm definitely getting this guy for sure because it's the probably one and only time I'll be able to actually have the Trinity Liger in my collection, even if it will be disproportionately small compared to the rest of the Zoids in the collection. So let me know if you guys think I missed anything or if you remember anything that I didn't feature here. But this is the main thing I wanted to talk about was the brand crossovers, the anniversary line, and the realized model line, and so that about covers it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-order this guy right now, and I'll see you guys next time.